Hi all, good morning. In our previous class, we were discussing about subprograms, and in the subprograms, we discussed about procedures and functions. Okay, so these subprograms are also called methods, and yeah, the procedures, how to differentiate between procedure and a function. So the procedures return type would be void. That means those are fire and forget type, and whereas functions we will have a return type specified. So while defining the function, we will have to decide what we are going to return. So these are request and reply type. Okay, and in the procedures we have discussed parameterized and non-parameterized, and we have done small examples on those parameterized and non-parameterized procedures. And yes, so our Apex class to perform, yeah, this math operations, which is visible to you, that's our parameterized procedure. So where we are actually, uh, parameterized function, because we have the return type as integer and Boolean. So yes. So this is what we have discussed in our previous class. So yeah, let's go ahead and discuss. And so yesterday we have discussed about the accounts helper class. So this is just a non-parameterized procedure. So we are just creating an account record in this particular piece of code, and this is non-parameterized procedure, right? And if we open math operations helper class, and this is parameterized procedure example which we have discussed. That means the return type is void and we have the parameters getting passed. Okay, and coming to our math operation utility class. So this is our function example of a function where we have the return type given, and also we have discussed what is a static function. Okay, so the functions which are defined as static can be accessed without creating an object for the class. So with the class name itself, we can access those particular class member, that function. Okay, so if we define a function as a static, class name dot the function name can be accessed. That means without creating an object, we can directly access with the class name. So that's the difference. And also we have discussed some of the key differences, like static methods can be nested, and we can write a static method. We can invoke a non-static method inside a static method, whereas we cannot invoke a static method inside a non-static method. So that's the difference. So we can do nesting of static methods, and a single class can have a couple of static functions and couple of non-static functions as well. So it varies. So depending on the scenario, we will be um, defining our methods, defining our functions as static or just the non-static. Okay, based on our business requirement, right? So yes, we have performed string manipulations also. Um, what's our class? string operations helper. Yeah. So this is parameterized procedure on string operations. So we are passing the string values as inputs and then we are performing the operations. Okay. So these are the examples which we have done in our previous class. Right. So let's move on to next class. Yeah, before I would give a couple of assignments. Yeah, I would bring you in the chat at the end of the class. Right. So the next topic is collections. Okay. So while we were discussing about arrays, we have we have a couple of drawbacks for the arrays, right? So arrays allows only the homogeneous type of elements. So if we define an integer array, we can only add integer elements to the array, right? So that's one of the drawback. And we will have to define the size of the array at the definition itself, and we cannot either grow it or shrink it dynamically. So that's the second drawback of an array. And also the important thing is array causes the memory wastage. So I'm assuming my array is going to be having 10 elements and I make use of only, I assign values for 88 elements. So the two elements memory is getting wasted. So, right. So that's what one more problem. So as it supports only the static memory allocation. So memory wastage is there in the arrays. And also, we do not have any ready-made methods to manage the elements in the array, okay, except the size method, right? So those are the drawbacks of arrays. Yes, to overcome these drawback of arrays, Salesforce has given us the help of a new type of elements called as collections. So collections will, overcome all these drawbacks of arrays which we have. So collections allow us to store a group of elements of type both, heterogeneous and homogeneous. That means we can store any type of element in collections. So that means we can store any type. When I say we can store a primitive type of elements, we can store S object type of elements, we can store collection type, we can store apex type, we can store user defined type also. So when I say apex type, we have, let's say, account, contact, right? So those elements also we can store in the collections. So apex type of elements also we can store in the collections. And these collections also, supports dynamic memory allocation. That means we can either grow it or shrink it based on our requirement. Okay. So that means just take a simple analogy like a balloon. Okay. So a balloon once, like normally it looks very small, right? But when we blow air, it grows. Okay. So it grows in size, and that's the size of the balloon, right? So if we want to remove some air, if we remove some air, it will again shrink to a smaller size, right? So similarly, our collections also can be growable and shrinkable. That means we can keep on adding the elements, we can keep on removing the elements. And if we add elements, memory allocation is going to happen. And once we remove elements, so memory is going to be saved, right? So it's going to be free. Okay. And this collections are like indexed. It can be indexed. So there are three different types of collections. So, and they avoid the memory wastage also. Like the arrays was doing memory wastage, collections avoid memory wastage. And collections provides a couple of ready-made methods, which I'm going to explain you in detail. And right. So collections, there are three types of collection classes. So Apex provides us with three types of collection classes. One is list, second one is set, and third one is map. Okay. Yes, all three collections are different, but yes, they are in similar in one way of storing, how they are storing the elements, how we are going to use of them, make use of them. So yes, depending on our business requirement, we can either go for a list collection, we can either go for a set collection. If we have to map a key value pair kind of thing, then we go for a map collection. So based on our requirement, we are going to go with these three different types of collections. All right. So let's discuss in detail all these three different types of collections. Okay. So yeah, let's come to the list. Yeah, so we are discussing collections, and in that we have three different collections: list, set, and third one is map. Okay, so yeah, as I told, these are going to dynamically allocate memory, and there is no memory wastage. And we have a couple of ready-made methods available with these collections to perform the operations. And um, we can dynamically grow or shrink the memory based on our requirements. Okay, so let's talk about list, right? So right. So when I say the list, it's like it's an ordered collection of elements, and which preserves the uh, order. So similar to our array. So it's an ordered collection of elements. It is going to have index positions as well. Okay, so it is going to store the elements in a same order, the way which we pass it to it. Okay, so that means you can think of a cube. Okay, so when a first element is inserted, it's the first element. The second element comes at the next index position only, but yeah, the queue, it follows a queue type of procedure, and it supports both homogeneous and heterogeneous type of elements. And that means we can store either similar type of data types. Let's say if I define a list of integers, I can store only integer values. But if I define a list of type object or a subject type, yeah, we can store multiple heterogeneous type of elements as well. So yes, inside the list collection, we can store the elements of type primitive, a object, apex type, user defined type, and collection type. So all these types of elements we are going to store in our list. So, and the list allows the dynamical memory allocation. Okay. So yeah, there is one important point for the list collection. It allows the duplicate values also. That means same type of element I can store in the list again. So that is possible in the list. It's not possible in set. Yeah, it is possible in the list. So yes, so it provides a couple of uh, data types. Sorry, it provides a couple of ready-made methods in our list. Okay, so this is how our list definition looks like. So we can The syntax for the definition of list, and followed by data type. Within this, uh, greater than, less than symbol, and then the object name. This name you can give it whatever way you want. List, integer, ls, let's say your name, your wish name. So that's the list, that's our list name, is equals to new list of data type and followed by our default constructor. Okay, right. So this is how we define a list. So any type of, so here in the data type we can go in any ways, like it can be a primitive type, it can be a subject type, it can be apex type, it can be a collection type, and it can be let's say id type, integer type, string type. So all these different types of uh, collections or different types of data types we can use it. Okay, so this is how we can define a list. Yep, let's go to our nodes. Let me share you. Right. So this is what we were discussing: collections, the drawbacks in arrays, and then the three collection types, that is list, set, and map. Okay. So in that we have the list collection. Right. So luckily we have ready-made methods available for each of these collection, which will help us in performing the operations. So yes. So as I was saying, so this is how we can define our list type of the list type of collections. And yes, so right, list data type, the object name, it's your wish, and then your new list. Okay, so list of integer customer codes is equals to new list of integer. So this one, if you see, it's integer, right? So we are defining this as a heterogeneous list type. Okay, sorry, homogeneous list type. Okay, only integer type of elements can be able to store in the list type called customer codes, holds a set of integer elements. Okay, as we were discussing, it can hold both homogeneous, heterogeneous, but we can define them as homogeneous. When I say heterogeneous, yes, we will discuss. So homogeneous elements, we can define it this way: list of integer customer codes is equals to new list of integer. Okay, so this list will hold the customer codes, list will hold only integer values. And let's say string. So list of string. So this particular list country names will hold only string type of data types. Let's say we will have to write, hold the ID values. Yes, we can create a list of type ID and record IDs, new list of IDs. It holds only the record IDs. So these are homogeneous type of data types. Yes. So list accounts is equals to, yes, this is what I was talking for. We can hold the data types of apex type also in our list. So when I say list of account, ls accounts is equals to new list of account, it is going to hold my account object records. So one record is treated as one element in my list. Okay. So yes, one record is treated as one element in my list. Okay. So yeah, let me show how these elements are getting stored. Right. So let's say I have a list and I wanted to add an element called apex. I have added it. So this is how it is going to store in my list at the index position 0. Okay. Even though we were not using the indexes, we were using the predefined methods to access the elements. But yes, we have the indexes for lists. Okay. So when I store this element, it's going to store at the index location 0. So I want to add another element called Bangalore. So it is going to come and it is going to be stored in index location 1. Okay. So third element I want to add, it's welcome. So 0, 1, 2. In the 2 index position, the welcome is going to be stored. So similarly, I can add elements, and these are ordered collection of elements, and they stay the way we add them. Okay, they stay as it is unless we perform some kind of operations, but yeah, they stay as it is. Okay, so when I add India, it is going to location 4. When I add, yeah, here if you see, I already have welcome a added in my third index position, that is second index position, right? But I'm adding welcome again. Yes, it is possible. List supports duplicate elements also. So this is how the list is going to be look like. Okay, right. Coming back to our list of accounts, yes, we can define account record types as our elements in our list. Similarly, we can define position, contact, case, solution. So whatever, every Apex type of objects, we can create a list of them and store it in our list collection types. Okay. So yes, this holds good for our custom objects as well. The position object, the hiring manager object, the candidate object, prospect object. So whatever custom objects we created, we can store them in our list collection also. So yes, this where it comes to be used is in our real-time scenario while we are writing some kind of complex code where we will have to traverse on each record on our account, let's say. So in that case, we are going to make use of this. And as I said you, right, so we will have to keep in mind of the governor limits. So you cannot write, insert or update or delete statements, the DML operations within the for loop. So how we are going to deal? Yes, we will write some programs later. So we are avoiding those kind of DML statements with the help of this list, the collection type of data types. Okay, right. So yeah, one important point is all these three collection types are the classes. Okay, so they are the classes. They are a type of collections which are classes. So that is where I am able to create an object for the class. But the thing is, we are able to either do it as a homogeneous elements or collection or a heterogeneous elements collection. Okay, we can do that. Yeah. So till here, if you see, you were thinking, oh, this all this holds only the homogeneous type of elements. No, it can hold heterogeneous type of elements also. The list of object is a data type which can be anything within Salesforce. And S object, yes, S object type also, it's a Salesforce object which can hold any type of elements within Salesforce. So that means it can hold all the heterogeneous type of data types, not only single data type, different types of data types in one single list collection. We can hold it. Okay. Yeah. One important point is, yes, similarly, like we have discussed while doing the for iterative statements, nested for loops or nested if loops. Yeah, we can also nest the collection type of list collections up to 5 levels. Okay. So you can create a list collection of list of list of list of list of list up to 5 levels. You can do that. Okay. So this is something, very interesting. Okay. And it is very much useful in case we are writing like very complex code. Yeah, it's very much useful. Okay. List of the nested list collection is also possible up to 5 levels. Right. Okay, so as I told you, we are provided with a couple of methods for the collections. So I'm discussing in detail about list because once we are aware of list, other two collections are little similar but different in us 1 or 2 points. Okay, of course, it depends on our requirement. Yeah, but similar type of collection. Okay, right. So we have so many methods within our list collections. Okay, so here how you are defining your list collection. I'm defining it as list of string and country names. Yeah, I can do it. Right. So coming to the methods available within our list collections. So we have a couple of methods which are going to be very useful for while performing operations on our list. So, okay, add element name. This method will add a new element. Yep. So once we create a list, we can add elements of it. Okay. So we created a list, which is called country names. And within the country names, we are going to add elements to it. Country names dot add India. I'm adding first element. It is going to store at index location 0. Country names dot add Japan. It's going to store at index location 1. So similarly, right? So once we add the elements, those are going to be queued. So that's where it is called ordered collection. Okay. Yeah. And yes, so the second one is this is a simple addition where it is going to add the element at the end of the list. But if nothing is available, it's the first element. If something is available, it is going to be added. It's going to be queued. So as I said, the balloon example, you will have to remember, we can grow it, shrink it. Okay, so we can also do add element at a specific index location also. That is also possible with the help of add index position and then the element name. So this method will insert a new element in a collection at specified index position. So here, if you see at position 2, we have Middle East. And now I wanted to add at position 2, I wanted to add United States. Yes, I can do it with country names dot add 2 comma United States. So that is going to appear here. So here I'm going to place the United States. So in that case, the United States is going to be occupying the index position 2 and the Middle East will move to index position 3. China will move to index position 4, right? So that is what happening here. Yeah, as I told, it's growing in size. So we can add it in between, we can remove from in between, we can delete, remove the elements also. We can do that. Yeah, we have a method for that also. Right. So hope you understood. We can add in between also, even though it's a queue, it's following queue process. Yes, we have a method for adding the element in between also. Add all, right? So this is one other method where we are going to have the elements ready with us and then we are going to add all of them. Okay. So if you see here, I'm just defining a string array of name countries and I'm passing the elements in it. This is an array. So I want to pass all these elements into my country names list, which is, I hope it is defined as string. Oh, right. So we define our list as string type. Yes, and I created an array which has the elements. So the complete array, I'm passing it into my list. Okay. So we can add all gives, add all the elements exist in a specified array or collection to our list collection at a time. Okay. So we already have them in somewhere, some other place, and we just need to add all the elements into our new list collection and perform some operations. Yes, we can do it using add all method. Okay. Integer size. So yes, this is the size. This method returns the size of the list collection. So if at all we want to find out how much size we are having our list, yes, we can find out using the size method. So this method will return size of the collection, which describes the number of elements in the collection. Yeah, we can access it using our list name dot size. Okay, this way we can access. Okay. And yes, its return type, if you see, it's mentioned as integer. Obviously, the index positions are integer numbers starting with 0, 0 to n. Coming to Boolean is empty. So it's just whether we are checking if our list is having the elements or not. Okay, it returns true if the collection is empty, else false. So if country names dot is empty, system dot debug collection is empty, that means if it is true, then it's empty. If it's false, then it's not empty. So just the return type is Boolean, it will return either true or false. Okay, so this is empty method, and the next one is get index position, returns the element value. Yes, if we need to find out the element value at a particular index position, this is the method which we are going to use, get index position, which returns element value existed at that specified index position. Okay, so country names dot get of 4. So on 4 position, we have China. Okay, right? Here's our, it's here. So position 4, we have China, right? Here. So index position 4, if I run, I'm going to get the output as my China, right? Next one, Boolean contains element. It returns true if the element found in the collection, else it returns false. Okay, so we are checking whether that particular element is present in our list or not. If country names dot contains United States, yes, we added this element, right? So it should be element found in the collection. Okay, else not found. So this is one other method, contains, to check for an element if it is present in our list or not. Right, integer index of element. So if we want to find out the index of an element, we already know the element and we will have to find out the index position of that element. We can use this method, integer index of the element name. So it returns the index position of the specified element. Obviously, the index is integer, so return type is integer. Yes, this point you will have to remember. So if that particular element is not present in our list, it's going to return a negative value. Okay, the element not found. The element is a duplicate element. Yeah, this is one more point. So list allows duplicate collections. Um, if there are two duplicate elements, let's say welcome, one is at index position 2, the other is at index position 9. So this particular index of method is going to return the index position 2. That means the first occurrence of the element. So if there are duplicates, it's going to cache the first occurrence index position only. And if the element is not found, it's going to return negative value. Right? So this is about index of method. Next one is set. So this method is used to assign a new value to an element based on a specified index position. Right. So as we were doing insert in between also, and we can also assign new value, we can replace it old value and you assign new value. So here we were having at index position 2, we were having United States. I want to replace it with USA. So in that case, country name dot set to comma USA. So United States was there, that was replaced with the new element USA. So we can do that with the help of set index position and then new value. We will have to pass. Right. So remove index position, it will remove the element from the collection based on the specified index position. So if we give the index position for our remove method in a list, so it's going to remove that particular element. What is going to happen to the remaining elements? So remaining elements are going to go move forward. If there are elements after that index position 5, they are going to move forward. Okay. So that means it's getting shrinked also. So that point we will have to make a note. So if I say remove of which one? 0, 1, 2. Remove of USC 2. If I remove it, then my Middle East will go and sit at index position 2. China will go and sit in index position 3. Spain will go and sit in index position 4. UK will go and sit in index position 5. And 6 is not available. Okay. So the list will have the index positions only if the elements are present within them. Otherwise, the index positions are not there, right? So this is about remove method of our list. The next one is sort. It will arrange the elements in the ascending order by default. So see, all these methods, if you make a note in other programming languages for these methods, we will have to write a piece of code to perform these operations. But luckily, Salesforce Apex provided us with all these methods readily available with our list collection. Okay. So sort, it will arrange them in the order. Okay. So here, if I pass sort on my country names, it's going to take China first. The next, it is going to take China, and then it is going to take India. So it's going with ascending order of alphabetical order. Okay, if you see, since these are string names, but if it is integers, it's ascending order, right? So if it is strings, it's alphabetical order. So you will have to understand that. So the sort is going to sort the elements in the list. The next one is clone. So the clone method, it will create a duplicate copy of collection elements. List string backup copy is equals country dot names dot clone. Yes. So there arises sometimes a scenario where we will have to take a copy of our uh, list to make a backup. One scenario. To other scenario is I wanted to uh, take a backup and keep it aside with a new name before I do some kind of experiments on my list elements. So that is another scenario. So we can do that way also. Otherwise, we can do like I have a list collection A, and the A should be there like that. And I need to perform some operations on the elements on A, and it should be stored in a new list. So in that case also, we are going to use clone method. Okay, so it is going to create a duplicate copy. Boolean equals, it returns true if both the collections are identical, else it returns false. So here, as you know, equals method, it is going to check whether the elements are equal or not. So similarly, we have equals method for our collections. So we can check whether two collections are equal or not also. So it's going to return either true or false. True if equal, false if not equal. Okay. And then we have clear, right? So it will remove all the elements from the list collection. So remove method is used for removing one single element, and clear method is used for clearing the complete list collection. So we can clear it also. So if we think we are no longer using a particular list, we can clear it off. That saves the memory. So here is the example of all the operations which we were doing. Okay, so let's go to our developer console. Yeah, go to execute anonymous window. And what I wanted to do is I want to see the list collection, create a list collection, and then see whether it's working fine or not. Okay. Okay, so let's go ahead and write a small piece of code which to perform all the operations on our list collections. Okay, so first what we are going to do is we are going to create a list collection. List of type string, anything it can be usually, but for the first example, I wanted to be make it look easier. Defining the list collection. Okay, yeah, list. So what is the list I wanted to give? Name it any. Let's say some products. Okay, so is equals to new of right. So we have just defined a list products of type string. Okay, data type string. So how we are going to add the elements to this list? We are going to adding elements to list. So how we are going to do it? Products dot add. So add is our method, right? So we are going to add, since this is our string type of list. So I wanted to add some products into it. Let's say I want to buy an iPhone to my product list. Okay, so similarly, we can add multiple products like this. Let's say iPhone, then okay. So I wanted to buy this, let's say these three products, iPhone, iPad, and yeah, iPods also. So all three different products of Apple. So I have added those elements into my list collection. Yeah, this is how we can add the elements. So I wanted to see the elements. So in that case, system.debug. So how I'm going to elements of products list collection. Okay, so the what elements I have, I wanted to display. So how I'm going to display that? Just you can have you you can give the list name. Okay, yeah, this is it. So I want to see the size of my list. So in that case, how I'm going to do it? So yes, okay, I will write it before. Let's say plus. So what is the method which I have to use? Yep,
Size, product size, dot size.
correct. So we have a method called size, which returns the size of our list. So, right, products dot size. So this is going to return the size. Okay, yeah. What we did, we have defined the list collection and then added elements into the list collection. And here display the size and elements of the list. Okay, so here we are, what we are doing displaying the size and elements of the list. So let's see how this is going to work. So let's execute debug only, right? Size of list is 3 elements of products list collection, iPhone, iPad, and iPods. Okay, yeah, this is how we can display our elements in the list. And similarly, if you want to, add more elements, let's say I wanted to add a duplicate element, add duplicates. So in that case, what should I do? Products dot add iPad. I want to add one more iPad for someone else in my home. Let's see. Okay, so this is how you can just add. So index position 0, index position 1, index position 2, and then now the index position 4. So even though these two are similar, we can still add the duplicate element, and let's see how it is going to be displayed. System.debug. After insert, let's say what after adding duplicate, after adding duplicate element. Okay, and I just want to display the products list. Okay, right. So now it should show, first it should show the three elements: iPhone, iPad, iPods. Elements of the product list collection are these, and then it should show again 4 elements. Okay, so here, if you want to print the size again, it should be 4, right? So I'm trying to print the size again. So here, last line, it shows the size is 4 now. Or after adding the element, the size got increased, size is 4, and then 4 elements will be displayed, right? Okay, debug only. Yes. So we have added one more element. That's where size increased. And after 4 elements, it is showing iPhone, iPad, iPods, iPhone, iPad, iPods, iPad. So the duplicate elements are allowed in list collection. So this is one what we want to, accomplish. So if we need to add, let's say, some element in between, yes, we can do that. Control, yeah. Or inserting the elements. Let's say I want to insert some element. Do you know of any other I Apple products? Watch. Okay, so what I want to do is I want to add this at index position 2.
I watch.
Okay. Yes, you will have to give in single quotes because this is our element of type string. And then after adding, let's say after adding element, I'm just writing something. Okay, it's okay. So I'm adding the, now it should be like 0, 1, 2, right? 2 is iPods. So it will be iPhone, iPad, iWatch, iPods, and iPad. Okay, so that is how it is going to display. So we are inserting the element in between, right? So I watch at index position 2, I have added, yes, it is there now, right? So we can do that as well. And let's say we want to add multiple elements at a time. Okay, so in that case, what we are doing, so we are just uh, pulling some elements from an array of string type. So we are creating an array. Apple products, let's say. So here, if you see, I'm just declaring an array of type string, and let's say, yeah, some other Apple products, I don't remember, but I'll write something. Let's say TV.
You can say AirPods, ITV.
So let's take an example of this one. So what we are doing, we are defining an array. And then what we want to do is we want to add all these elements into our list collection. So how we are going to do that? Uh, Products dot, yeah, what is the method which we have discussed? Add all. So here we just need to pass our string array. Okay, so now if you want to display the elements after adding all elements. Okay, so now tell me what will be the output. Can you see? Okay, let's look at. So we just added another, so we just declared multiple elements I want to add. We just had a string array with the elements, and that array elements I'm adding it to my products list. Okay, so let's go ahead and execute. Debug only, right? So all the remaining elements got added at the end, right? So we have our list collection elements and also other collection multiple elements we have added. So those are the elements. If you want to display size, yeah, we can display it. It's 9 elements, so it's going to display size of the list is 9. So we can also do that. And also we can, search for an element as well. How? Okay. So we need to search for an element, let's say. So we have a
Find
method. No, find we don't have. What is the method we have? Which
index.
14 methods we have discussed, right? Element, to find an element. Contains. Okay. So I'm just checking the condition. If my products collection dot contains, let's say I want to check for TV. Okay. Hope you understood. System dot debug. So if it's true, then element is found. Okay. So element is found. If not, else it's what we are going to say, element not found. So in this case, it's element is found, right? Because TV is already there in our list collection. So we are going to search an element by making use of contains method. Element is found. If I give something like fan, let's say, element is not found, it should be. Yeah. Okay. Right. So this is how we can perform all the operations on our list elements with the help
Delete.
of, yes.
I have small question. So if for suppose in our list there is like more than 15 or like names, I mean list, okay.
Okay. Elements,
So
elements.
yeah, elements. So for suppose if you want to find the index position like 14, what is we don't know. So how can we get it for like based on index position we can get it? What is on the index position 14 like that?
Yes, we can find out, right? Index of, okay, you want to find the element value in a index position 14, correct?
Yeah. Yeah. Suppose if it
Okay.
is like we have 8 index, I think 7 indexes right now. So for suppose we
Mhm.
don't know like what is the element in sixth index.
Get,
So can we
we
get
have
it
the
like
we have the method get, right? Get of index position.
oh yeah, okay. Thank you.
Yeah. So those 14 methods of our list, they are going to be used in combination also sometimes. So it will be very useful. So get our list dot get of, then you give the index position. So index position 14 you said. So if the element is not there, what is going to happen? I guess it's going to return negative value. So let's
Mhm.
see that also. Let us see that. So in our list, we don't have 14 position. I just want to do some get of, let's take first as the available one. Let's say 4. Okay. Okay. So let's see at finding element at given index. Okay. So for element at given index iPad. So at fourth position, 1, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. iPad is the one which we have. Let's see 14 now. So it's going to return a negative number if I'm not wrong. So let's see. So yeah, it is throwing an exception that this, yeah, as I said you, it's going to hold the index positions only which has the elements. Okay. So till now we have elements like up to how many elements?
4, 8, I guess.
Yeah.
So
So we added 4 plus 4. Let's execute. Right. So we have all these elements. So it's 9, that is 0 to 8 elements we have. So if you pull index of 8, it is going to show us the result. But if you go and put index of 9, it's not going to show, it's going to throw the limit exception because list is going to hold only the index values of available elements. If there is no element at a particular index position, it's not going to hold that index position also. Okay, even though we are not accessing the elements based on index position, but yes, index positions are available only for elements available in the list. So that's also one important point. Okay, right. Yeah, that is for now. Let's
Yeah,
meet
yeah. Can you
again after.
finally can you give me a real time example for list of?
Yes. Yes, yes. We will do that one complex program after completing a few other topics also, Samarth. Yeah.
Okay, okay.
Okay. Because this is going to be very complex, obviously.
No, no.
The list is.
I just want to get the idea, like how in real scenario it will be, like how we'll use list in real scenario.
Okay, okay.
Yeah. So we say
Usually in the real time,
list of accounts,
if
and we say
yeah, correct, correct. That is what I'm showing actually. That is not share. Yeah, this is what actually in the real time we will be going to make use of it. Okay, so list of account. So it's going to one element. It is going to hold the complete record. Okay, so that's where we are going to. It's going to be more complex how it is going to happen in within inside the business logic. But yes, it's going to be very funny. Yeah, and we can do much more complex operations with this list collection types. Okay, and list is ordered, right? So if we have, if we want unordered collection, we can go for set. And if we have a kind of key value pair for our business requirement, we are going to go with map. But most of the cases, I have seen the list is going to play a major part in most of the complex scenarios. Okay, so since we can do even nesting also, so it's very complex. Yeah, in the real time, we are going to use this kind of statements, and we will be writing code. Okay, yeah, I will explain you a complex program. Don't worry, but yes.